Hello folks, welcome to Kenny Birch 1965. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this folding table for your workshop. So stick around and find out. Alright, since we have limited space in our shop, I like to wheel the miter saw out here. It's got big wheels on it so I can wheel it in real easily. This table folds up and you can leave the miter saw on it to it. So it folds up about this thick and about that wide so I can shove it in a corner somewhere in there. I like to wheel it out here because it puts out a lot of dust. I do have the vacuum system, but I don't have it brought over here yet from my other shop. So I'm going to cut all the 2x4s out here. And I've got a catch bag here that catches the dust, so it kind of keeps it somewhat clean. That thing needs to be cleaned out. It looks a little pregnant. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, I sighted down my 2x4s to see which one is the straightest this way and doesn't have a crown in it. This one's pretty nice. You can see that in the camera there. Check it out, man. I'm gonna do 45-degree angles on my corners for two reasons. Number one is if you do a butt joint, you get about 1.5 inch gluing area. If you do a miter cut, you probably get another 1/2 inch of gluing area. Plus you can pin them together a little easier. The screws kind of go in a little bit deeper. So this miter saw stand is pretty cool because it's got these extender arms on the ends here. You can extend them out pretty far. I think total, if you went all the way out end to end, was like over 8 foot. So I need to set this to where it also has these stops here, so you can put a board up against there and stop it up against there if you have a certain specific length you want. So I'm not going to use that right now. So I need to lift this up to the point to where it's just touching the bottom of that 2x4. Clamp it down. That'll help me hold it up on this end so I'm not struggling with it. Just drag it out. So I'm going to put a 45-degree angle on this end. Just flip it over this way. .48-inch mark. All right. 48 long point to long point. She's a beaut, Clark. Let's chuck that in there. The camera probably shook on that one. 48, that's going to be 48 inches. Yes, on the button. All right. Next we need 4 of those. 2 for the 18-inch deep section, 2 for the 48-inch, 2 for the 30-inch deep section. This one a little bit differently. This board is so long, I'm going to cut 48 1/4 so I can yield it, or so I can flip it around a little bit easier. Like a spaceship landing. Let's do it the right way. Got 30 minus 3.5 is 26.5, so I got to make 2 26.5 long point to long point, and then I'm going to run 2 of them underneath the table, so those will need to go in between the 48-inch ones. Those will each be 45-inch long, and those will be for extra support so it doesn't sag in the middle. So okay, on your straight cut boards, a little trick you can do, rather than to measure every single one of them, the one you already cut, put it on top and flush it on this end. Hold it tight, slide it up to your blade. Push your blade down to hold this one. Slide that one out of the way. Look at that, perfect, perfect, perfect length. All right, and we'll cut our 18-inch ones for the folding part, the sides of the folding part of the table. This little catch bag's pretty cool. Pretty old though. All my tools are pretty old because I've been in construction for a long time. So, all right. So basically, you just unzip this, like this. Put it down deep in your bucket so you don't get dust all over the place. Just empty it out. Hold your breath. All right. Flip it back up. Put it on this way. If you put it on that way, it just doesn't work. It gets clogged. So you put it on that way. And that's all there is to it. Hummingbird buzzing me. Oh, by the way, this little fuzzy thing right here, that's a microphone. The fuzzy part is to keep the wind from picking up on the microphone. Now, little tip here. When you cut through something like this and there's a small block of wood on this side, leave the saw down till it stops, because if you go like this and that thing gets back up in there, it swings it around and it could hit you in the hoo-hoo or the ha-ha, but you won't be going hee-hee. Believe me. On the 18-inch section, I'm going to put a couple vertical ones underneath there also. Alright, now we can get to assembly. Stay tuned. Alright, now you can see how it's starting to come together. So I'm going to start drilling and screwing these corners, these cross braces. These will actually be probably about here on each side. So just watch closely. I'm using these star head 3-inch screws for the corners. I think that should be plenty sufficient. Alright, let's get started. These are deck screws, by the way. Work awesome. Guy who invented these should be given a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, ran out of juice. That is one happy bird. All right. Like I said, I reuse these screws. That's why some of them look brown like that. They work great. center is 24. Put them on 16-inch centers. How about that? From the 24-inch point, that is. Little trick you can do too. Okay. 24-inch point. If you want to measure the 24-inch point, take your pencil like this. Hold that part of your tape measure. Go to your 24-inch point. Just like that. And if you want to do 16, go 16 from there, just like that. And from here, 16, and here, 16, and 16. 16 on center, that's basically when you build a house, you put your studs 16 inches apart to the center of the stud. All right. Another easy way to do this is because it's easier to push down than it is to push sideways when you're drilling. So you take your handy dandy speed square. You want to make sure it's square. That's good. All right. Next. Speed square. Perfection. Square. Square it up. All right, it's a ladder. They're not exactly going in easy, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of force. But luckily I have a secret weapon called BAPs, big ass pliers. Line it up. You drill, and that screw should go right into that pocket. That hole I drilled. Notice my hands were out of the way. If you have them here, that thing comes out of that screw and jams into your finger. You will know it. Alright. The BAP's on the job again. You can do this with a clamp too. Just put your clamp overlapping both boards and clamp it, but push it off to the side so you can get to the point to where you can drill your holes. I'll show you the clamp method on this one. Basically, you're going to put this part over both pieces, like this, on both sides. Adjust it. It's on both. This clamp. Doesn't have to be real tight, just enough to snug it down. Make sure you're centered again. Drill your holes. this will be the fold down part of the table. All right, so we can set that aside. And that one should be 18 by 48. Bingo. Bingo. All right, so this one's going to be 26 and a half by 48. All right, speed things up a little. I'm going to put 2-inch brad nails in the corner just to nail it all together, and then I'll drill and screw everything together. Make sure you get your fingers out of the way because these things can curl, and a 2-inch nail that can travel. It might help if I plug the air compressor in. Most annoying sound in the world is this, especially on concrete. So I did it twice because I love it so much. I'm innocent, I promise. I don't deserve to be in here. All right, now the screw job. That's what I said when I got divorced. I screwed over. Sorry, it was wrong. I should have done it, but I already did it. It's too late. So suck it up. Trying to drill past that knot. Otherwise it's not going to work right. My screw gun might be getting wore out. Uno más. All right, flip. Push down on your drill like this. Try not to cover up these vent holes because that motor needs to cool off. So try to find a place where you can push and not put your hand over the vent holes. So this is going to be our leg. Get a leg up. Competition. Alright, at this point, you want to clean everything from the area here on the floor so you're not tripping over anything, falling on your face. Always stay hydrated. Oh, that's so good. Ice water. Put your cup somewhere where you're not going to knock it over, because you know you're clumsy. I'm clumsy. Alright, so this is going to be our leg right here. I know that there's a floor joist running this way, right where this joint is. So we're going to be about somewhere in right here. So I need to measure the distance of this table from the stud. We know it's 26.5. And I'll take my level. I will, right around there is going to be where that leg's going to hit the floor. If the bodies hit the floor. Somewhere in that area. Okay, so what we need to do, take this post. So our countertop's going to be 36 finished. So we need to allow a 1/2 inch for our top piece. So we'll make this piece 35.5. And then we take our fancy leveling stick here. And we go from our post to the 2x4 at the wall. Level it up and put us a mark on the wall. So we know we can level from that line all the way around. It'll be spot on. Alright, so here I go. Okay, we're on the line there, almost. On the line, we're level. Mark, 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 and mark. Okay, we want to scratch out any other marks so we don't get confused. What? I'm going to go on this side. Line up with this mark on this 2x4, 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 and that, my friends, will be that. So, now with your level tooltip here, do not drop your level. You can knock these bubbles out of level. You get a really good level, take care of it. Don't lean it up against the stuff. If you're going to lay it down where you're not going to step on it, out of the way. Put it on a shelf where it's not going to fall, or put a nail in the wall or something slightly angled upwards so it doesn't fall off. Hang it up. That's the best way to do it so you don't get it all messed up. I'm going to put this one over here on the floor, but I won't mess with it. Little tip for this here. Instead of trying to hold this up, and screw it into the wall, break your back, pop a hemorrhoid. Cats and dogs living together. What you can do is you can take a couple scraps. Okay, this thing is this thick, so we know it's that thick. So take your 2x4 and put a mark underneath. Screw your strap there, here, and one over here. And then you can set that box on top of it and screw through it, and I'll show you how. You're going to put that on your mark there. Mark to the bottom of it. I'm going to do this one here. Mark the bottom of it. Alright, so now we pre-drill. You don't need more than one screw in each brace. Alright, boys and girls. Another thing you can do is you get your screw started. where you just barely see it. That way you're not leaning over there for so long. Beautiful. Alright. Sweat off your tool. That sounded dirty, didn't it? Now take your square box apparatus thingy jobby. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the countertop part of it past these studs to the wall. So it's going to be notched around these studs. But right here there won't be anything. There'll be a void. So I'm going to take some scraps and I'm going to screw them here, so when the countertop's in, you'll have another piece here that is flush with the countertop. So let me get on that right away. In order to screw this one in, I'm going to have to toenail them from underneath, which I can usually do by hand because I've done it so many times before. Right. And on this side I can drill through the stud into it. Jeez, into it. It's a Seinfeld reference. Tell me what I'm referring to in the comments below. You get your toenails pre-started. And again, you can get where just barely see the tip coming out. Back up a little bit. All right. Make sure we're square. Square like my head. Where's my Frankenstein head? All right. That square this way. Down a little bit, but we can fix that with our. For good measure. Butte Clark. This one. Take this one off temporarily. Reach this. Get in now. Now. Bit's getting pretty dull. Beauty. Everyone, vámonos. Okay, everything off the floor. Now we're gonna take table brace, amazing brace, set it on top of our guide blocks. I'm gonna take the leg, put it right down here, screw it in, meow. And we're sitting right on top of that floor joist. So you see these 2x4s a little higher than this because the countertop's going to be flush with these. So there's no hole void there. Then I'll notch the top into these voids here around the studs. This one will hinge up from there. Hey folks, I want to take a moment to talk to you about back problems. You know, we're all working in these shops and we're bending over a lot. Our backs are hurting. Some of us, like me, have back problems. Now there's an easy solution for back pain relief. In the next clip I show you, I'm going to demonstrate our head-up spinal decompression device. It's a simple device you can put in your living room. It's adjustable, fits your body, and watch the video. Okay, so this is what I was referring to. This is my patented head-up spinal decompression device. The reason we call it that is because you're not having to hang upside down. Your head is in an upright position and you get spinal decompression the same way you would as if you were hanging upside down on an inversion table. Alright, so basically all you do is you adjust the legs for your height, and you can use this in the standing position or the seated position. I like to do it in the seated position because it stretches my spine more. And then you adjust the arms here for your torso. And you basically just lower yourself onto the device. And then you relax your lower body. And you can feel it stretching your spine. And man, it feels so good after a day of working, bending over and all that work you're doing, and your back gets sore. Or you're bending over a lot, you're carrying stuff. It's just a lot of strain on your back. But this thing really stretches it out, man. I can feel it right now. It feels great. So just go to our website and I'll leave a link down below. Thank you and God bless. Before I put the rest of the screws in the leg, I'm gonna screw it to the wall. First of all, let's make sure we're still good and level both directions. All right. Beauty. That's spinning a little bit, but that's because of that. Use the butte. And then put another screw in that one temporarily. Alright. She good. She good. She good. She good. Yeah. I'm going to screw one into this one too, at an upward angle. Angle from the bottom. Always stay rehydrated. With refreshing, I'm not going to tell you because they're not paying me. Hit me up. Ice water. Oh man, doesn't that make you thirsty? Just listening to that. Turn it on. Shaken, not stirred. Oh man. Plum. This way's plum, this way's level. She plum. Plum crazy. Mark that. I don't see any need to screw that to the floor. It's just for support, basically. A couple more screws here. If you're going to put 2 screws here like this, try not to line them up with the same grain. Drill this one here, drill this one a little bit further down, and maybe one here. Because if you drill these in the same spot, it's more apt to split there. Just a little less, the more you know. And throw your pencil a few times, that helps work off some aggressions. Fancy screwing driver. Use a Buick, Clark. Look at that. My fat ass can sit on there. Now, we need to put this booger on here so it hinges upward. Lock out there. What I'm going to do is put the hinges on here first. Okay, put the hinges on here. I'm going to use longer screws than the ones that came with the hinges because I want it to be very sturdy. And they also have a square drive head, so it's going to be a lot easier to drive them in than the Phillips head screws that come with it. Alrighty, now we need to be able to hold it here while I screw the hinges into this one underneath. Remember our blocks we used earlier? These come in all kinds of handy. Screw that here. This one here. Over here. Stick this booger on here like that. Clamp on here like so. Go that way a little bit. Another little tip, if you have to fart, do it while you're using the screw gun. That way no one will hear it. It'll creep up on them. Deadly. Water break. I'm going to camp out here for a little bit. Feels kind of good. A little bit of rest and relaxation. But there's work to do. Couple 30-inch pieces. Take off our blocks. Let's see how this works. Little scoundrel. All right, now we can test it. See how it works. Take our clamp off of there and there. Perfect. You come over here, you got room. You need more space. Pull it up. Okay, after some long contemplation, I've decided that the stops will be made as such. They'll be here like this, and then when you pull it up, they'll slide out like this and hold it up. I cut a piece 13.5 for down here, 7 inches for here, so it can slide in between them, and then I'll put a piece of the OSB here to hold it in place, and it'll slide in between them. Alright, so this will go down here like this and hold this in place like that. And pull this up, slide this forward, and hypothetically that should hold everything up. What I need to do is clamp this. Alright, so let's put this over. Alright, this over here, halfway point. Yeah. 2 hours later, this has to go here like this. That screw was bent. It'll bent, but it should stay up. Ta-da. So this slide back like such, allowing that to drop. And when you want more space, and I'll have a knob right here. Pull it. Still gotta put a piece here to hold it in place. And it will slide to that point and alto. And 3/8 by 13 3/4. 1 3/8. 13 3/4. Be careful doing this, you get a splinter in this hand, finger. On this side, this is what I decided to come up with to support the countertop when it swings up like this. So I just basically took a 2x4 and I hinged it right here, put a stop here so it doesn't go too far out. I also put another stop here so it hits the side of this and doesn't fall out, which I probably didn't need this since I had that on there, but I'm gonna leave it. So anyway, basically pull it up like this. Grab this here. See, I had to put this knob down here because if I put it here it would have hit, so I had to put this down here. So swing it up like that, pull out, and voila. When you want to store it, you just push it back, and there you go. Now on this side, for the support for the countertop, I decided to go a little bit different way. I made this 2x4 here to where it slides out underneath this piece, and I'll show you how I do that. First of all, you pull it up, pull the side piece out. You shouldn't have a side piece, it's not fair to your wife. Come to this side, and you slide this piece just like that under here, see? It's a little tight. I'll put some wax on it and help it slide in and out. Very sturdy. You got extra space. And when you want to fold it back down, just slide this back. Push this back. And now you got extra space for your larger tools that are on wheels if you need to move stuff around in a small space. Alright, now we're going to put the top on. This is pre-cut from the big box store. I would say your name, but you're not sponsoring me yet, so they'll cut it in half. It was a 4x8 sheet, and I took it back there and told them what I wanted to cut to, and they cut it. No problem. Alright, here we go. Okay, so for the first one, set it up against those studs there, push it back, and we're going to notch it around these studs here so it goes all the way back to this wall here. It gives us a little bit more counter space. So here we go. We'll need my speed square. Alright, so we'll spin it around. The depth of the stud is 3.5 inches, so we'll just mark it at 3.5. 3.5. And 3.5. Tape measure. Yes, ask and you shall receive. Alright, little trick for scribing a straight line. Now you got to be careful with plywood and OSB because you can get a splinter up your fingernail. But you take it like this and you pinch it with your finger up against here. That way you use your finger as a guide, but go slow with OSB or plywood because you could get a splinter in your finger. Just go like that. Straight line. That's the part we want to get rid of. Mark this one. And mark this one. Alright. Now we're going to get the jigsaw. Magic jigsaw. Wow, it worked again. As you can see, this saw's had some age on it. I bought this new, so you can tell how much I've used it. Lots and lots and lots. All right. That magic will work on this. Magic cut. Wow, it worked. Look at that. Man. I think I'm pressing my luck. I better do it the manual way. Great invention. Hats off to Jimmy Jigsaw, the guy who invented the jigsaw. Not really, but sounded kind of funny. All right, knock the dust off her. Done. All right, get her done, son. She's a beaut, Clark. Let's pop this bad boy up. Nice. Final piece. Oh, like butter. I'm just gonna put a few nails in it, and gravity works downward, so. All right, let's get our nail gun and get her done, son. I'm just gonna nail it down with some 1¼ brad nails. Let's see if old Bessie's gonna work today. Sometimes the thing misfires. I gotta take it apart and clean it out at night. This particular brand, I'm not gonna mention the name, hit me up. They have a common problem basically. After a while, they'll misfire. They'll fire, misfire. Won't. So you can actually take this off and you can clean it out inside there. Make sure everything's right. Make sure your O-ring's good, and then you can pop it back together. They've got little plastic pieces you can replace in there also that help it fire better. You can tell by the wear and tear, this is pretty old. I've had this probably over 20 some odd years with a lot of my other tools too when I used to install cabinets over 20 some odd years ago. Working pretty good today. Hey folks, you might be wondering, why is the camera pointing at the rafters? This is a really small shop. We need every little bit of space we can get. So on our next episode, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make storage in these spots here that folds down, and it will have these little bins here that actually stay this direction as it folds up into the rafter. And the nice thing is, I save all these rubbing alcohol bottles and I cut them into this for supplies and stuff. So each one of these will hold 3. Each one holds 3 of these. I'm going to have 3 of these in each one. That's 9 in each one. And I've got 6 bays. 9 times 6 is 54. 54 of these you can put all kinds of screws and doodads in. It's going to be awesome. It's basically going to hinge up here, and it's going to fold into the rafter, and I'll have a pin here to hold it up. As it folds down, these little boxes will stay like this, just like that. And I'll have 3 in each one, because that's about all you can really see. If you put one up here, you can't really see very well, so you have 3, maybe 4. I might put a 4th one up here, and then I can cut these a little long and label them as long as they don't hit there when it folds up. So we'll see. Stick around for the next video.